Dear students, today we'll start our course on consumer behavior. The first topic or the first unit is understanding the consumer behavior. The name of the first unit is Consumer Behavior and Introduction. On that unit, the first chapter is understanding the consumer behavior. To understand the consumer behavior, we first need to understand why we should study the consumer behavior. Now you know that the business management in today's world has been highly complex and it has become a specialized study. Today the function of marketing management plays a very critical role, and this is because the function of management, that is, earns and works. Why do we earn? As a manager or as a business organization, to earn revenue. Why do we work? We work in the close proximity with the public or customers who are outside the organization. Thus, it seems that to earn we have to work, and work is done for earning the revenue and working with the customer. Controlling these two attributes to have the desired benefits are the most difficult part of the management, because these are very much complex and none of these two are within the direct control of the marketers. But this does not mean that other functional areas are not important. All other functions of management are also equally important, but these are not directly involved in these activities that are mentioned above, that is the earning and working with the customer and earning the revenue. Similarly, within the study of marketing management, the consumers or the customers play a very critical role, as these are the people who finally buy the goods and services of the organizations, and the firm is always on to move to make them buy so as to earn revenue. So in fact, how can an organization earn revenue? Only when the organization can persuade the customers or the consumers to buy their services or product. So it is crucial from both the points of view as given below. From the customer point of view, customers today are in a tough spot. Today, in the highly developed and technologically advanced society, the customers have a great deal of choices and options. Because let us take the example of the 4 P's in marketing, that is the product, price, place and promotion. If we take the number 1, that is the product, they have the products of an extreme range of attributes. You consider any single product, all the products have variety of ranges, variety of attributes, so they are free to choose any one. Number 2, that is price. Again, the same product have variety or wide range of cost and payment choices. One may be high costly, one may be low costly, one may be in the middle. So there are several ranges of prices which can customer choose out of all the prices. Next P, if we consider the place, now again they can order them to be supplied to their doorstep, or even they can go to the shopping mall or any other retail stores where they can buy. So the place is also varied, and it depends upon the customers from where they will buy, or rather they will get it at their doorstep. Number 4, that is the promotion. You know that today there are several types of media, social media, TV media, radio, FM, so many communications mediums are there, and thereby the customers are also bombarded with several types of communication channels, and they are free to accept it from any of the medium. So we cannot compare the customers of today with the customers of earlier days, because in case of all the 4 P's we find that the customers have variety of ranges to choose from. How can they possibly decide where to spend their time and money, and to whom they should give their loyalty? So this is a big question, because as we see that for the 4 P's they have different options, different varied choices, so it becomes very difficult to find out which customers will be loyal and which customers will not be loyal. Next is marketers' point of view. The basic requirement for the marketers in earlier days where aggressive selling was the aim. So in earlier days we find that the marketers were selling their items in an aggressive way. The main purpose of marketers in those days were more stuff to more people, more often for more money, in order to make more profit. So these three were the motto, that is more people, more stuff, more often for more money, and make more profit. But in today's world, it cannot be achieved by force, aggression, or plain alluring. Why? Because the customers today are more informed, they are more knowledgeable, and more demanding, and more discerning. And above all, there is no dearth of marketers to buy from. So there are several options for the customers from where they will buy. The marketers have to earn them or win over them to make them their customers or make them their loyal consumers. Now we find that there is similarity in diversity. What is the similarity in diversity? Here diversity means diverse customers, and similarity means the similarity among the attributes of diverse customers. The global marketplace is a study in diversity among consumers, producers, marketers, retailers, advertising media, cultures, customs, and of course the individual or psychological behavior. In all the attributes, we find there is a lot of diversity among individuals. But however, despite prevailing this diversity, there are also many similarities. The object of the study of consumer behavior is to find out or provide conceptual and technical tools to enable the marketer to apply them to marketing practice, both profit and non-profit. So we study the consumer behavior because it is very important to the marketers, because it enables them to understand and predict buying behavior of consumers in the marketplace. So in short, we can say that it is concerned with what the customers buy, when they buy it, when and where and how they buy it, how often they buy it, how they consume it and dispose it, how satisfied or dissatisfied they become after using it. Study of consumer behavior. Research shows that two different buyers buying the same product may have done it for different reasons. Obviously, one may buy it for a necessity, one may buy it for luxury. So different reasons are there. Even they may have paid different prices. One may have bargained, one may not have bargained and paid the exact amount. It may be used in different ways. One may be used for home, one may be used for office, having different emotional attachment towards the things and so on. So the study of consumer behavior is one of the most important in business education, because the purpose of a business is to create and keep customers. Customers are only created and maintained through marketing strategies, and the quality of marketing strategies depends totally on knowing, serving, and influencing the customers. In other words, the success of a business is to achieve organizational objectives, which can be done by the above two methods. The knowledge and information about consumers is critical for developing successful marketing strategies, because it challenges the marketers to think about and analyze the relationship between the consumers and the marketers, and the consumer behavior and the marketing strategy. So what are the benefits of studying consumer behavior? A marketing manager would like to know how consumer behavior will help him to design better marketing plans to get those plans accepted within the company. In a non-profit service organization such as hospital, an individual in the marketing department would like to know the patient needs and how best to serve those needs. Similarly, universities and colleges now recognize that they need to know about consumer behavior to aid in the recruiting students. Marketing admissions has become an accepted term to mean marketing to potential students. So what is consumer behavior? It is the study of what consumers buy, when they buy, why they buy, where they buy, how often they buy it, and how often they use it. Finally, the definition of consumer behavior. Consumer behavior is the study of individuals, groups, or organizations and the process they use to select, secure, use, and dispose of products, services, experiences, or ideas to satisfy needs, and the impact that this process have on the consumer and society. So this is the end of the chapter. In the next chapter, we'll learn the relationship between marketing concept and consumer behavior. Thank you all.